This is the all-new Community Connection. I'm your host, Jade Harrell, keeping you connected to our community. The legendary Smokey Robinson and the powerful tenor Mario Frangoulis are coming to the Peabody Opera House. Voices for Veterans is a national initiative using the power of music to permanently house homeless veterans by engaging celebrity musicians to raise awareness and money for targeted programs and volunteerism. We are joined today by Executive Director for Voices for Veterans, John McGah. Hello to you, sir.
Hello, Jade. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Well, you guys got a concert coming up, and I just really want to know more about this initiative. It sounds great.
Sure. Well, we're very excited. We've done a lot of smaller concerts that were kind of lead in and testing the model and building partnerships in Missouri, but it's all been coming to this, and that's a show featuring Smokey Robinson, Motown legend,
yes,
and our good friend Mario Frangoulis, who's an international tenor, who's just got a phenomenal voice, and these two are going to perform together to support and to house homeless veterans in Missouri. It's going to be Sunday, December 6th at the Peabody Opera House in St. Louis.
Yeah, Peabody Opera House is known for the legendary concerts, but this one has something special.
Yeah, this is not only two phenomenal artists coming together, but the net proceeds will work to house veterans and provide services for veterans in Missouri, those people that have served their country, that have sacrificed time away from career, from family, put themselves in harm's way, lost friends, our neighbors. And in some cases, a minority, but in too many cases, they come back from service and have no home as they deal with different issues from their service. So we want to make sure they have a home, which will help with health outcomes, employment outcomes, education, but it really starts with that central home for the veteran and his or her family.
For sure. Well, tell me about that model, John. How does it work? Talk about how you all make that possible. And I love that you included health and employment as part of the initiatives, not just for finding a home.
Sure. We did a lot of research for a good year and a half and talked to experts in the field and put together a steering committee of veterans and service providers and folks from the entertainment industry. And we were led to a couple of key programs that really complement other efforts where we could raise a little bit of money with small events or a lot of money with large events, which we hope to do here, that would have impact and not compete with other veteran groups. And what we found was a couple of examples. One is a group called Veterans Matter, which are national. And what they do is leverage existing resources for veterans, particularly that come from the federal government. And these are the kind of Cadillac standard for veterans. It's a service, a voucher called the HUD-VASH voucher. And what it is a housing voucher combined with a voucher for services for the lifetime of the veteran who needs housing and services. So it's that combination which is really effective. And despite the fact that legislators from the right and the left have come together to support these programs that have proven very effective, there are still a number of cases where veterans have qualified for this service, this HUD-VASH voucher, but still need first month's rent or security deposit to be able to leave the streets or leave shelters to go into a home with that voucher. So part of what we're doing is providing that money to landlords and veterans immediately to get them housed and access the service that's waiting for them, but for that month's rent or security deposit. So that's something we can do with smaller or larger dollars to access other resources and complement them. We also went around the state of Missouri and talked to folks and said, besides moving veterans in quickly with these vouchers, what else is needed? Is this going to be helpful? And what we heard consistently was, we really need some discretionary dollars for when we move in a veteran who has been homeless into housing. We need a move-in fund that can help with furniture, toiletries, kitchenware, discretionary things that will help a veteran make a unit, a home, that many other grants often don't support. Mm-hmm. So part of what we'll be creating from this concert is a Missouri Veterans Move-In Fund, and that will be housed at the St. Louis Community Foundation for that very purpose for veterans throughout Missouri.
What a powerful thing to do. It is often that we miss those little details that can be a tremendous piece of feeling more normal and home and in balance even.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so much disconnection comes with homelessness.
I bet.
Whether it's spiritual disconnection, political, economically disconnected from the larger society that we all need to be part of and are part of. Homelessness is about that disconnection. And one of the reasons we choose music as a way to help address that is music is about connection. Mm-hmm. You know, when you hear music and you're moved, it doesn't matter if the singer is housed or homeless. We have that innate connection, and we're reminded of that through music, and we're often inspired to act and to give through that. So we could raise money in a lot of ways, but we choose music and the power of music because of those added dimensions that come with it.
Well, I'm very impressed that you take that into consideration and utilize it in your service to our veterans. John, tell us a little bit about yourself. What brought you to this work and to lead this organization?
Well, I am a musician, so music has been and is a big part of my life.
What is your discipline?
I'm a guitarist and a singer-songwriter. I'm an okay guitarist, but I love to sing.
Oh, wow. You're going to love this as much as we will.
I think so. So I've had a deep love of music for a long time, and it has a big role in my life. But when I was in high school, I volunteered at a church near my hometown that was feeding homeless folks at a soup kitchen. Mm-hmm. And I had seen a lot of homelessness and was really surprised at how much homelessness there was in the United States. It didn't fit with the image I had of our country. Mm-hmm. So I went to the soup kitchen, and we prepared the meals and the tables, and then the doors opened on a Sunday morning, and a wave of people came in, children, families, older folks, single adults. And I served the meals, and we started interacting. And I remember I was heading off to college the next year, and there was a homeless veteran, coincidentally, a Vietnam veteran who was living on the street. And he was so concerned with my future, and he was asking me what books I had read and told me things to consider when I went to college around my major. And he was clearly a smart guy, and he was clearly a caring guy. And in that moment, in that interaction, it dispelled all the myths I had about those other different homeless people. Mm-hmm. And I realized it's kind of simple, but it's kind of profound, or it was for me, that's me right there, and it's just someone in a different circumstance. Homelessness doesn't mean they're separate or different. And here was someone giving to me who was very vulnerable, and that had such an impact on me. I couldn't not be involved with the issue once I saw myself pretty clearly in someone in that situation.
Mm-hmm. That's a very valuable lesson to us all, that before any judgments can be made is to see and understand where a person may be coming from, to put yourself in their shoes. It's an old adage.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. There but for grace go I.
That's it, sir. That is certainly it. And it's no distinguisher of persons. Homelessness isn't. And it doesn't also mean that it would separate that man's care and concern about you and your future. What a powerful testimony that is. Yeah,
it really was. And I hadn't thought about that moment for a while, but it is coincidental, too, that man happened to be a veteran, someone who served. I hate to see homelessness for anyone,
right?
Anyone, child or adult, any circumstance. But there's something particularly wrong about veterans who are asked to go serve and put themselves at risk and go through often a lot of trauma or loss, and to come back and to be without a home, it seems like the least we can do is make sure they have a home and opportunities to thrive.
Exactly. I feel like it's an insult to them for that, and there's no way that we should stand by and let that happen. So I'm very glad to hear about what you're doing, and that the Veterans Matter organization works with you, but also to see the service and help through for their lifetime, as long as they need.
Yeah, that's right. It's a permanent solution.
That's right. And it can't be an easy undertaking. So with this being a funds raiser, but awareness raiser and connector, this is a great way with these major names and talent to not only bring in great funds, but man, what did it take to put something like this together?
It takes perseverance and great partners.
What made you choose Smokey and Mario?
Well, we had, I've personally always been a huge fan of Smokey Robinson. So much of modern music goes back to those early Motown records, and he wrote and sang so many of those great songs. So, always a fan. And Mario Frangoulis has been involved with Give Us Your Pour, the parent organization for Voices for Veterans.
Oh, he's been involved.
Since 2007. We did a benefit CD that year that brought together celebrity musicians with homeless musicians in one CD.
Beautiful. And
beautiful. He sang a wonderful track and then did a live show with us, and we worked with Bruce Springsteen and John Bon Jovi and Mighty Sam McLean and Jewel and Pete Seeger and
Get Out.
That's
a great album.
Names. And I'm Natalie Merchant. I'm Keb Mo. I'm leaving out a lot, but
you're leaving out some. So that's an amazing soundtrack, and there's still more.
That's right.
Get Out. Now, have you been able to lend your talents to the project?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that, because there's a wonderful track by a children's music artist. Does all family music. He named Dan Zanes, and he did a track with a 13-year-old homeless girl named Kyla. And if you listen very closely, there's some knee slapping on the track, and that's me.
Well,
so,
there you go.
I'm very proud of that.
You should be. You most certainly should be, as well as this effort and Voices for Veterans. Well, please, John, send out the invitation right now for our listeners.
Sure. Well, we hope you'll join us at the Peabody Opera House Sunday, December 6th for Smokey Robinson and Mario Frangoulis, Voices for Veterans, to support homeless veterans in Missouri. It's sponsored by our partners, Boeing and Ameren, Missouri, and it's presented by Give Us Your Pour and the Eisenhower Fellows of St. Louis, which have been a major key partner in Missouri, Eisenhower Fellows. So many partners have come together to pull this together, and we hope you'll be a partner by buying a ticket and telling your friends about this show and joining us on December 6th.
December 6th. Showtime is at 7? 7
p.m.
And
that's right.
Doors open, I would imagine, at 6.
That's right. Doors open at 6. And for those that are interested, there's a VIP opportunity to get premier seating and come to a pre-concert reception that Smokey and Mario will come drop by, and there'll be some other St. Louis dignitaries that are being pulled together, but it's going to be a special VIP reception. And folks that come to that will also have the opportunity to get a picture and chat after the show with Smokey Robinson and Mario Frangoulis as well.
Oh, a full-out night of wonderful entertainment, legendary singing and talent, but most certainly for the sake of those that have placed their lives on the line to serve us as veterans. Voices for Veterans, using the power of music to permanently house the homeless veterans that are in our region by engaging celebrity musicians, raising awareness, money for targeted programs and volunteerism. John McGah, this is a great project. So glad you came on to share with us.
Thanks so much, Jade. We really appreciate you having me on today.
It is my pleasure. You can get more information at VFVconcerts.org, as in Voices for Veterans, VFVconcerts.org, and Ticketmaster.com. Take advantage of your VIP opportunity to meet and greet Smokey Robinson and Mario Frangoulis, to enjoy the wonderful concert and then some time to exchange with them thereafter, all of which still makes resources and opportunities even better for our men and women who have served us in our armed forces. Also, would you just leave a word of encouragement or something to lay on our minds and hearts about not only our homeless veterans, but our homeless brothers and sisters in our area?
Yeah, well, for those who are experiencing homelessness, we know it can feel disconnected, and we're here to tell you that we're thinking of you. We haven't forgot you. You are our brothers and sisters, and we are in this together. And we're reminded of that through music and through gathering, things like concerts. But we have not forgotten you. We will not forget you, and we will find a home for everyone.
Beautiful. Thanks, John. John McGah, Executive Director for Voices for Veterans. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jade.
It's my pleasure. All right, that's it for this week. If you have questions or comments or have something you'd like to include in the community calendar, you can leave a message on our message box at 314-333-8369, 314-333-8369. And for more information about our show or any of our guests, you can visit us online and listen to the podcasts at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. And search Community Connection with Jade Harrell. You all be blessed, do blessed, and take care.